Wow. All right. Wow, this looks lovely. Well, if I'm being honest, I've dreamt of this moment for my entire life. The only thing I always wanted to do was say this, that is, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kevin Zingkhai and welcome to my TED Talk. All right, so I decided that I wanted to title my TED Talk, Your Life is More Than This. The reason being why is because the first time I heard this quote was by my mother. I was somewhere, I think I was in my 5th grade and I just failed in my Marathi subject. And I thought my life is over. I was so devastated. My mom, being the rather chill mother, she came up to me and she told me, it's okay, Beta, you just failed in one subject. Your life is more than this. At the time, I didn't really understand what that meant. However, that stuck with me. That stuck with me for a very long time. It stuck with me to a point where it actually changed my entire life. And I hope that by the end of the speech, it might change your life as well. I was 12 when my parents first had their divorce, and after that, we faced a lot of financial difficulties. I've seen everything in my house being sold. I've seen my TV go, I've seen my clothes being sold by the kilo, I've seen utensils being sold, newspapers, anything and everything that we could in order for us to have some amount of money to buy some food. At the age of 16, I had to drop out of college and take up a job. It wasn't by choice, it was because I had to take up the financial responsibility of my family. I still remember that my first job paid me 7,000 rupees. In that 7,000, I had to take care of my entire family and my expenses as well. Ironically, that was the happiest I ever was because I started earning money. I was making money on myself, Mr. Independent, right? Feels good, right? I remember the first 3 months that I was working. Every day, my dinner was a 5 rupees ka pali ji and a 6 rupees ka chai. That was for 3 months because that was all that I could afford. Till date, if anyone ever offers me pali ji, right, I get a little emotional because that was what kept me alive for 3 months, to be very honest. In spite of all these things that were happening to me in my life at that time, I still had a very positive mindset and I had a very positive attitude. I still told myself that, Kevin, this is your life right now, but your life is going to be so much more than this. And it was. It did turn out to be true. I was 18 when I became a flight attendant. Now imagine this. You're 18, you're traveling the world, you're living out of 5-star hotels, you're living the high life, right? And for a person like me, I was just a 12 pass. For me, this was more than I could have imagined. This is probably more than anyone could have probably dreamt of, right? However, I dreamt of even bigger things. Because honestly, I've always been a dreamer. Even in that time, though my life was amazing for the kind of background I come from, I told myself, my life is going to be more than this. 2020 was rather a pretty dark year for all of us. However, for me, it was the darkest. I was let go of my job. I was currently that time living in Qatar. I was sent back. And I was also in a long-term relationship that ended really badly. I was devastated. I started slipping into depression. It got so bad to a point where I lost so much weight that you could literally count like the ribs I had. In spite of all the things that were still happening at the time, I would just tell myself, Kev, it's just depression, it's okay. Your life is going to be more than this. Call that toxic positivity or whatever, but that was the one thing that always kept me going, right? That summer, I discovered this app called Clubhouse. I actively used it a lot. I believe a lot of you all must have also used it as well. I used it so much to a point that I started gaining a lot of popularity of it. So much so that I actually ended up featuring on the magazine cover of HT Brunch. That was the most unreal feeling of me. 23-year-old Kevin Zingkhai has a magazine cover. I was like, wow, this is crazy, right? For me, that was the first time I got the taste of the kind of life I always wanted to live. Because ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to be a content creator. I watched these amazing, legendary content creators like Mr. Bhuvan Bam, Ashish Chanchlani, Karen Chang, and I would constantly tell myself that this is exactly what I want to do. Even I want to make videos. Yeah, maybe not comedy. I want to make people laugh as well. I think I can do a great job at this. However, these things, for me, they were just a dream at the time. And I honestly believe that dreams are a luxury. How could I even dream of becoming a content creator when at that time I was fighting for getting food on the table? I said, it's okay. It's not possible today, but someday I will do it because I believe my life is more than this. After getting the magazine cover, I remember getting a call from my job. After being jobless for almost a year, my airline called me back and they told me, Kev, it's time to come back. You can get back to flying. I said, all right. I had the decision to make whether I wanted to continue being a flight attendant or if I wanted to take a chance in social media. However, the logical answer was go back to my job, right? Because why would anyone in their right mind want to risk something that they already have that is pretty good? And mind you, I loved my job and I was really good at it. Why would I take a shot for something that I don't even know it would even work, right? So that's what I did. I went back to Qatar and I started flying again. However, for the next 6 months that I was there in Qatar, I could not enjoy my job. And it was so surprising to me because I loved it. Imagine spending 5 years of your life in building a career and you actually happen to be good at it. You got your dream job, but you're just not enjoying it. Because somewhere you believe you have a higher calling. I came in that what if zone. You know, like I was always like, Kev, what if you actually become a content creator? What if it actually works out? What if you actually succeed at this? What if you actually have 100,000 followers? What if you actually get 1 million views? What if? But all of these doubts that I had and all of these things that I wanted to do, like I couldn't do it because I was surrounded by a lot of these logical uncles that I'll say, who meant well for me, of course, but they would constantly tell me that, beta, aisa nahi hota hai. You know, you can't just become a content creator like that. It takes a lot of luck. And kabhi kabhi paise bhi khilane padte hain. You can't just do it like that. And they were right, to be very honest, because logical thinkers are not risk takers. They try to stay safe, and ideally that is what we all should do, right? Just do something that keeps you safe. But then again, yeah, like I'm like a khatro ki khiladi. That's what I like to say. I love taking risks. I love the entire adrenaline that you feel like whether this is going to be something that's actually going to work out for you or not. Moreover, I love the fact that if in case it doesn't work out, what am I going to do next? Because I've always pushed myself that if something's not worked out, I've come up with something next. I remember the biggest risk I ever took of my life was I had this friend of mine. She used to be an ex-model and she also became a flight attendant as well. Her name was Daniel. Daniel and I, we got into a conversation one day and I was just very casually asking her like, hey Daniel, you were doing great as a model. Some people were saying that you were going to probably be in the next Salman Khan movie. Like, what happened? Why did you quit that life and decided to become a flight attendant? Daniel very simply responded by saying, Kevin, I just did not enjoy that life. And to be honest, like, I love being a flight attendant. I simply asked her, are you happy being a flight attendant? She said, yeah, immensely. I said, all right, that's great. Daniel then proceeds to ask me a question that no one in 5 years had ever asked me. And that blew my mind. She asked me a very simple thing, and that was, Kevin, are you happy? My brain malfunctioned because everyone like looks at me and just assume that, hi, this guy is living his life. He's the happiest person in the whole world because I'm always smiling, right? So no one ever asked me that. I used to smile so often to a point where I did not ask myself whether was I really happy doing this? My answer was, no, I'm not. She asked me, when was the last time you were actually happy? In a drop of a beat, I said, the time my magazine cover came out. She responded by saying, okay, so why don't you get back to doing that? I said, well, I don't really know. What if it doesn't work out? I'm not really sure. She then proceeds to tell me something that I till date believe is the sign from the universe I was looking for, and that was what nudged me in the direction of content creation. She told me, well, Kevin, why be stuck over here when your life is clearly more than this? My brain was like, wait, what? Excuse me, wait, what did you just say? Yeah, I clearly think your life is more than this. The same quote that I've been telling myself my entire life to motivate me, this random stranger in a different country said that to me. That was all I needed from the universe. I said, this is it. This is my sign. I'm going to get on to doing this. I remember that night I reached home at 3:30. I slept at 6. I woke up at 9. At 9:30 I was in the office and I resigned. I put my papers on. I said, you know what, this is it. I'm going to become a content creator. This is going to be my life now. I felt amazing. I felt so empowered when I did that. It was great. I was like, wow, I'm going to start my new life. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to be a content creator. This feeling lasted exactly 15 minutes only because after I was like, what am I going to do for money now? I was like, okay, I have to actually tell my Indian mother that I left a really nice high-paying job, which I spent 5 years in to make Instagram reels. That was what I had to tell my mother. But anyways, like the ship had basically sailed at that point. So I was like, let's just go back to India. We'll figure it out. I remember packing my entire life in 11 suitcases and showing up at my door. My mom opens the door and she sees me and she was like, okay, okay, Kevin, what's up? I said, well, I quit. She said, oh, did you get fired? I said, no, I quit. She said, why'd you quit? Like I said, because I want to be a content creator. My mom was like, you should go and fired instead, to be very honest. But my mom has always been a very, very, very chill and a very supporting parent. And my mom very simply just asked me 2 things. She said, will you give it your 100%? I said, yes. Will you ask us for any money? I said, no, I won't. Then give it a year, Kevin. Because what if it actually works out? What if your life is more than this? And I was constantly seeing this quote everywhere. I was like, no, this now, one day when I give my TED talk, this is going to be the title of my quote. And today it is, to be very honest. So I got like super excited, right? I was like, wow, I'm gonna become a content creator. You know what? Let's do one thing. Let's buy a camera. Okay? I got my first camera. I even named my camera Veronica. I was that excited. I called up all my friends and I was like, you know what? Let's all meet at Cutthroat Socials today. We will vlog. We'll create some content. I was super excited. I remember even while I was leaving my house, I remember saying a small little prayer. And I was like, okay, God, today's the first day of the rest of my life. Today's the first day of my new job. God, please make it go well. None of my friends showed up. I was devastated. For the next 2 months, I tried anything and everything I could with YouTube. I tried making reaction videos, I tried making sketches, I did everything I could, but nothing was working out. I soon started slipping into depression because I was like, wait, Kev, you've left your job, you've told everyone you're going to become this big content creator, you need to make sure that this thing works out for you, right? So I said, you know what, it's time to do something really drastic. Let's go to Himachal for 2 months and do some self-discovery because this is my Imtiaz Ali moment, right? I thought, I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, let's just go to Himachal. Well, believe it or not, all right, before I left for Himachal, I had 150 subscribers on YouTube. When I came back from Himachal, I had 170 subscribers. 20 people I met on the way told them, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Nothing was working out. You don't just become a content creator by just quitting your job and just being like, I'm going to make cool videos, I'm going to be funny. It wasn't working out. The only good thing that came out of going to Himachal was I got very, very, very comfortable talking to the camera because I was roaming in the mountain alone for 2 months. So that was pretty great. Soon after I came back, I started getting more and more agitated. I started getting more and more scared because paise bhi khatam ho rahe hain. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? This needs to work. But nothing was because I was trying everything. So I said, you know what, Kev? Let's just take one last drastic step, okay? Anyways, your savings are anyways getting depleted. I was down to my last 2-3 lakhs. I said, do one thing. Let's take a 1-month vacation to the Philippines. Let's sit somewhere in the island, sip some pina colada, and what if we make some content and what if it actually works out? What if your life is more than this? I was like, okay, cool. We go to the Philippines. Now, I believe that everyone in this room, at some other point of time, or perhaps you all have already gone through it, you all have a turning point of your life. One moment that changes everything for you, like that. For me, it's so funny and it's so ironic and it's so surprising that that turning point of my life came on the 6th day when I was in the Philippines. I remember I was ice skating at the time. I don't know if you guys have seen that ice skating video of mine that went viral. But I remember I was ice skating and I was just taking a very normal, casual story on my phone. There was a gentleman that was about to collide into me and I was talking at the time. I was just just having a conversation with the camera. I was saying, alright guys, so we're in Manila, I'm ice skating, it's my first time ice skating. Just while he was about to collide in me, मेरे अंदर का मुंबई बाहर निकल आ गया and I said certain things that I cannot mention over here. And I saw that video and it seemed funny. And I was like, should I post this as a reel? But what about my image? I was like, wait one second, you just have 2,000 followers. Who even cares about your image? Kevin, post it. Who is even going to see it, right? I was wrong because 10 million people saw that. That was my first viral video. Imagine that. For the last 4 months, I was trying to put out the best work I can and this random video comes and opens up the algorithm for me. However, I was not somebody that was going to take this lightly. I'm not going to take that blessing the algorithm God has given me and just let it go to waste. I decided I am going to grind. For the next 7 months, I became like this psychotic person that started uploading content every single day. I did not miss a day. There were times when I was uploading content 3 times a day. I kept innovating and kept changing things and kept trying new things. I developed characters. I have this Kamlesh, Sufyan, Shivani, Kevin. I created an entire universe over there because I was like, I am not going to let this go. It was close to about 1 month when I remember that I first hit my 10,000 followers. And for me, that was insane to get 10,000 followers in 1 month. The feeling was unreal. 10,000 लोग मेरे को follow किए 1 महीने में. Wow, crazy, right? However, the feeling was very short-lived. You know why? Because in the next 21 days, I hit 100K. So I was like, okay, this is getting serious. Okay, maybe my life is more than this, perhaps. Ever since that time, I just kept constantly pushing myself as much as I could, creating content, meeting people, trying to understand the content creating game, right? I'm really proud to say that right now we stand somewhere close to the 500K mark, with me having collaborated with these amazing top brands that I could not even believe that would want to work with me. With me having worked with legendary actors like Mr. Vidyut Jambal and Mr. Manoj Bajpayee, alright? I think my life right now is going pretty good, right? Because honestly, like this was everything that I ever dreamt of, correct? Like that, what could one possibly dream of? I mean, think of it right now, okay? This little boy, okay, who's a 12वीं pass, literally just only studied my HSC, okay? I'm right now over here, TEDxIIMRohtak, giving a speech to people who are much more educated than I am. For me, right now, I am living the dream, correct? This is the best, right? Not for me. Because I, till now, in this moment itself, I still believe that my life is going to be so much more than this. Trust me when I say this, I still believe that someday I'm going to be an actor. I believe that someday I'm going to be in movies, I'm going to make movies, I'm going to have shows of my own, I'm going to have my own talk show, I'm going to sell out auditoriums like this for my stand-up gigs because my life is more than this, right? However, as I grew older, there was something that I learned, and that was what I realized, that if in case you want to be successful in your life, you cannot do it alone. You will always need people that will be supporting you. You need people on your corner. You cannot succeed alone, bhai. It doesn't work like that. For me, those people were these 4 gentlemen that helped me become who I am today. They are the reason for whatever you all see. They are the reason for my being, honestly. Starting with Mr. Number 1, Mr. Jamal Sheikh. He was the chief editor of HT Branch at the time, and he was the one who gave me my magazine cover. He randomly discovered me off on the internet and heard me speak in some room and thought, this kid is cool enough, let's give him a magazine cover. That was my first initial break. At that time, this gentleman didn't even know me, randomly met me, right? Number 2, Mr. Webb of Patak, co-founder of TGB Troops and Dot Media, the agency that I'm represented by. This gentleman discovered me at 10,000 followers and did not let me go. He got me my first brand deal, he got me my first paycheck, and he still believes in me. And we are still going really strong. He's like family to me. Number 2, a content creator you guys might realize, Mr. Rishabh Rai. This gentleman, alright, was the guy that taught me content creation. He was a random stranger that saw my work on the internet and told me, bro, if you make your videos like this, actually it would be much better. And honestly, I think you should change this. And try investing a little bit more in production. I think he taught me everything I needed to know about content creation. And also, he was the same person that introduced me to Mr. Weber. It's so crazy that I have never met him till date. I have never met him. We just became friends on Instagram, and he's been supporting me ever since. Last but not the least, my very dear and my loving manager, Mr. Kunal Arora. Bhai, we fight like Mia Bibi. Like, we fight so much. But for me, Kunal is always going to be my miracle worker. He makes things happen. All I need to tell him is like, Kunal, get me this. He'll be like, okay, I'll get it sorted. Next day, it's done. Kunal, I want to work with this brand. Okay, you know what? 1 week, it's done. Kunal, I want to work with this actor. Okay, getting it done. He can make anything happen for me. The reason why he does this is because he believes in my work. The only reason why I name all these people and I tell you about all these people is because these people were strangers that discovered me on the internet. My point being over here, sometimes you might seek support and you might need that faith from the people around you, like your friends and family, right? And you might not get that. But trust me when I say this, and I'm a testimonial to this, that if your work is genuinely good enough and you actually put it out over there are going to be random people that you don't even know that are actually going to appreciate you and they're actually going to support you, like these 4 people that actually made my life. So to anyone out there that is listening this at home, or to all of you lovely people in the audience, if you're ever in a situation where you believe that you're stuck, where you believe that there is more to your life, where you believe that you have these ambitions that you want to achieve, or you are in a situation where you're not being valued, I want you all to go to the closest mirror, and this is what I want you all to say. I want all of you all to repeat this, by the way, okay, after me. You guys ready? Ready? Alright. I want you all to say this. Your life is more than this. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kevin Zingkhai, and my life has just begun. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, guys.